Kawaki right now, he's currently fighting a monster, Jura, the 10 tails incarnated with Code's chakra, Shibai cells, and Isshiki's essence. He is an absolute beast, someone who Boruto fans, they cower at the name of Jura. Kawaki right now, he has unleashed Isshiki's raw attack power. Limiters, those things are gone. The ninja tech upgrades, he's probably got them because he demanded that Amado pump him full of them. And still, despite all of that, there is something wrong I don't think enough of us are talking about, because even now, in the middle of a life or death battle, Kawaki hasn't awakened the one thing that truly made Jigen invincible as a vessel for Isshiki Otsutsuki. What is he missing? He's got a full Kokugan eye, something that even Jigen himself didn't have. Well, he's missing the horn, the final form, if you will. That terrifying coma state that left Sasuke near death after only 2 hits from full power Jigen. They made Naruto gasp in disbelief, and then Naruto himself got the ramen noodle sauce knocked out of his mouth after 3 hits. That form, it is still locked away. And the reason why, I think it is chilling. Kawaki, he is emotionally blocked, and best of all, I think Amado knows it. Let me break down why. Even now, Kawaki is still someone you should consider to be nerfed, even though he is extremely powerful right now, and why that might be exactly what makes him the most tragic weapon that we have in the entire Naruto franchise. Join me in today's newest Naruto Explained video, where your OBC, your original Boruto chief, drops that bombshell on the Kawaki fans as to why he has one more gear in him that he has not unlocked, and why it makes sense narratively for this to be the case. Also, we are officially on spoiler watch starting tomorrow, because the chapter drops on the 17th this month, so spoilers are likely dropping late tonight US time or early tomorrow morning, since Japan is roughly 14 hours ahead, depending on the time zone that you are in. So for those of you guys who don't want spoilers for the manga chapter, just be careful the next 4 days, or rather the next 3 days starting tomorrow, because it's that time of the month. It is officially moved up now. And for those who do want spoilers, when they drop, I'll have the spoiler breakdown the same day that the spoilers leak, and the review will either be out the day of the official release, which again is the 17th this month, or a couple of days after, depending on when I get 2 full sets of translations to compare and contrast, in order to make sure everything is accurate, because the official translations do make mistakes from time to time for Boruto, as well as other series like One Piece, Don to Don, Chainsaw Man, and etc. So let's be clear, Kawaki has Isshiki's power, but not his form that Kawaki has explicitly asked Amado to remove his limiters. What I mean by this is that he demanded more modifications, Isshiki's attack power, ninja tech, and otherwise, implying that he is hunting for the power of Shibai cells, since Kawaki knows that's a thing. But so far, we haven't seen him truly tap into that final karma form, that horn transformation that Jigen used to decimate Naruto and Sasuke. Now, I argued in the spoiler video, or the official spoiler video, based on the official spoiler that Shueisha wanted us to know about leading into the chapter, that maybe he was measuring how much of karma he could use before fully unleashing, because Boruto can't control karma. But I want to take the opposite approach here and kind of lay out why I think that he doesn't have access to that horn form. So Jigen's transformation is that moment where karma fully bloomed into Isshiki's destructive will. Yet for Kawaki, for all of his rage, he hasn't quite crossed that line, and I think it's because he doesn't have the trigger for it yet. Amado has that hidden intel, and he has the suspicion still around him that he's lying, because Amado's always been a master manipulator and always looking for leverage, and Amado would know about Kawaki's flare-ups in the past. Amado gave Kawaki the karma back, and he withheld key details about what else it was that came with that. Like, hey fam, you got the karma seal back as a weaponized karma, but I also raised in your regen, but I also put a limiter on your attack power. Now it's like, okay, I'll reduce the regen and defense back to default, and I'll raise the attack power so you get the full attack power. But when have we never known Amado not to build in a backdoor for himself when fixing a problem? He always does it. In my opinion, Amado never told Kawaki how to truly access Isshiki's horn form, the true apex of the Karma Seal. Kawaki's not been coached on how to use that power. Yes, when he cuts on Karma, he gets all the battle experience and etc. So there is a possibility he could just tap into it, but I don't think that that's going to be the case. And if that's not a red flag already, Amado might have known that Kawaki specifically needs an emotional trigger, and he might have chose not to tell him, because a weapon with feelings is dangerous. A weapon that knows why it hurts can learn to say no. Let me restate that, because I just dropped a bar for you. I want you to really think about what I'm saying here. Like, this ain't Naruto explaining to YouTuber talking to you right now. Like I know based off my analytics that 76% of you guys who watch the channel are 30 years old and younger. So this is big bro Naruto explaining talking to you, because I'm a couple years older than some of you guys. And the closer some of you guys are to 18, I've been reading Naruto longer than you've been alive. Really sit down and process that line. I'm gonna restate it for you. Because a weapon with feelings is dangerous. A weapon that knows why it hurts can learn to say no. Kawaki's not learned to say no yet. That is part of his character arc. Momoshiki has told him, other characters have told Kawaki, it is your destiny to keep getting fooled and used by others until you get fed to a Ten Tails. He's not going to get fed to a Ten Tails like Koji saw in all those other alternate timelines. But this is a part of Kawaki's learning process. This is why I think Amado pulled a fast one. This brings me to the emotional wall, because I think that Kawaki, even though he's got his limiters removed, there's still a limiter that Amado himself can't remove, which is Kawaki's own mental state. Kawaki has triggered this horn transformation before, but let's look at the common factor when he did it. It was only under times of extreme trauma. It was not done intentionally the way that Jigen did it when Naruto and Sasuke almost killed him. And he was like, man, I played around, these guys almost killed me. Okay. He says, you guys are never going to get that close ever again. And then he transforms, and then he almost kills them with 5 hits between the two of them. Fear that Jigen would kill Naruto inside his own home resulted in the Karma Seal. Fear that Momoshiki would kill Naruto, that also resulted in the Karma Seal, where all of a sudden the horn pops up. Both of those causes are extreme trauma. In particular, Naruto-related trauma triggers, because Naruto is that thing that Kawaki cares about the most. Unlike Sarada, who shattered her emotional wall and now uses her Mangekyo at will, Kawaki's stuck in repression, unless we take it a step further and say that Jura still wants to find Naruto. That could be something there. He shifted focus to Himawari because Himawari does have Kurama's chakra, but if we find out that Jura still has some interest in Naruto, that could start the process of Kawaki breaking that final wall. Kawaki is cut off from a emotional stable point in the form of Naruto. He is emotionally cold, but internally he is fractured. This isn't just power locked away, it's also pain compartmentalized so deep that he isn't truly able to feel it anymore. And that's why he isn't able to fully evolve, because that pain, that fear from losing Naruto, while Naruto is stuck safely in another dimension, if that extreme trauma is there, it's going to create a situation where we have to ask what other situation besides Naruto being in danger could even force Kawaki to that point. It's $1 million question. Is that bond with Boruto that strong? I don't think it's as strong as the bond with Naruto, or rather the obsession with Naruto. Now, this also gets more interesting when you take a look at Ikimoto's self-admittance on being a huge Dragon Ball fan, and he does borrow from Dragon as well as some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. There is a Super Saiyan parallel here, and Dragon Ball Super Saiyan requires an emotional breakthrough, rage, loss, trauma, just like the Mangekyo Sharingan, and now potentially with Kawaki's horn transformation. Goku awakens it after Krillin's death. Trunks in the manga had it before Gohan passed away, but if you go by the anime continuity of Dragon Ball, Trunks awakened it after Gohan died. Similarly, Kawaki needs to remember that helpless fear, to channel it, not to suppress it. That fear that he felt when he thought that Jigen was going to kill Naruto. That fear that he felt when he thought that Momoshiki was going to kill Naruto. He needs to lock in on that fear to be able to use it to empower him. Ikimoto echoes Dragon Ball at times. The concept of power being rooted in pain, but requiring emotional mastery to use at will. And that's also something that Kishimoto did in Naruto as well, because chakra at its core was always physical energy and spiritual energy. Physical energy being yang chakra, yin chakra being spiritual energy, which is tied to your emotions. When those two things are out of whack, when your mental state of mind is shattered, you can't fully access your full power. Case in point, Minato having a severe mental nerf in the 4th Ninja War. Or in Boruto, we see that Naruto has a mental nerf when he sees Momoshiki controlling Boruto's body, because Momoshiki went from, hey Code, we need to team up to take this guy out, to he sees Naruto's unable to face him while he's controlling Boruto, and Momoshiki goes, this is my chance. I'm going to kill the Hokage. Which ironically, that one scene gets taken out of context, and we have people that agenda push against Boruto because they're Naruto fans who don't truly understand stuff that we see introduced in Naruto. So they say, oh my God, they nerfed Naruto here. He's weaker than he was in the Pain arc, because they're bumbling idiots blinded by nostalgia, the same way that Dragon Ball fans are blinded by nostalgia in the 2000s. At least back then, Dragon Ball fans could say, hey, we had a very bad English dub, so we didn't know we were misinformed. Naruto fans don't really have that excuse. Decent dub, and you have multiple places to watch it, and you have multiple places to read the manga. Which I'm going to end this mini rant / shade here by just saying, based on my interactions, it seems like Boruto fans actually know Naruto better than some of the Naruto fans who hate on Boruto for continuing some of the very same concepts that were introduced in early Naruto, but they ain't ready for that conversation. Kawaki has all the components of a god tier fighter, but now we have to ask, is that potential fear when it comes to Naruto the thing that's holding him back? Is that an emotional wall that is going to stand in the way of that third transformation for Karma, the horned state? This flaw makes Kawaki better. I used nerf in the title and in the thumbnail, but Kawaki being nerfed is not a flaw. It's a storytelling tool. And we have a bunch of brain dead YouTube channels and TikTok accounts and Reddit accounts, Twitter accounts, and etc. that throw around the word nerfed and plot hole and retcon, and do not truly understand how these are effective writing tools when used properly. That's the whole reason I'll use them in the title and thumbnail, because most of the time when I do that, I'm explaining how it's not a nerf or plot hole or retcon, and it filters out the people that comment based off of the title and thumbnail and not the actual video that is being played. In this instance with Kawaki, I am saying, hey, he is nerfed, but it's not a bad thing. If the shoe fits, the shoe fits. I'm not saying any names, but I say that to say this. Kawaki isn't just a tank of upgrades. He's a character still in search for his identity. That is part of his character arc that we're going through. If we see that he has a struggle to awaken that horn, it's going to reflect his own inner war that is crucial to his character. Protection versus destruction. Love versus fear, community versus obsession. Kawaki, if you really dig down deep into his character, while he is on the path to becoming similar to Isshiki, I would also argue, based on what we know from his character and his capacity to love, that part of him is also scared that becoming strong will also mean becoming like Isshiki, but he is willing to become a monster if it means protecting Naruto. In a way, Kawaki's limitation, it can be tied down to his humanity fighting back. The very same humanity that Naruto and Boruto each wanted to save. The moment that Kawaki's able to sprout that horn transformation, that might be Kawaki getting closer and closer towards the edge of being at the point of no return. He will obviously be pulled back, but that's something, if written in that way, could bring us to a satisfying conclusion for Kawaki's character. So the next time you see Kawaki unleash a monstrous blow, remember, he's not still at full power. That horn form, it is still there. He hasn't tapped into it yet as of this recording. And it might just be because of Kawaki's own emotions. Until he's able to harness that pain and fear, he'll never truly become what he's meant to be, or worse, he might end up becoming the very monster that he's trying to destroy. Obviously, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, clicking here on the left to check out the newest installment of the Ninjutsu Handbook that was uploaded yesterday, or click here to check out videos from my other 2 anime channels where I talk about non-Naruto content.